because we met through you getting a couple of Rolls Royces, and I think talked to you about a couple Land Rovers, et cetera, for some of your places. Oh, if I recall, Porsche.
But my what I loved about that is that I had a phase where I really researched the history of mobility and loved what I learned about the whole Rolls-Royce perspective and how they even going into how they advertised their cars in the 1920s and 1930s. And so I found it utterly fascinating. And this is why I then got into it and said, okay, let me experience that. And I found through you some of what I then consider as, so I liked, as an example, finding pieces which are maybe 20, 30 years old with in impeccable condition so that you could carry them forward. What I'm not really interested in ownership. I consider that as a custodian assignment. So because you hold them for a certain time and hopefully you leave them in a better shape than you got them to make sure they stay on. Yeah, because we will not have that kind of individual car anymore in the future. So, and I'm interested in cars or in mobility solutions which have a classic value, which are considered as a piece of art. So, and a hand-built corniche from that period surely qualifies for that. And so that is what I enjoy. I don't like plastic cars or cars full of computers because they don't last. Yeah, who on earth would consider putting a laptop on a bicycle? Yeah, so because it wouldn't survive for a long time. So now we have cars which are full of laptops, and yes, they have a bicycle plus some plastic around it. But it is guaranteed that those things don't work, and we're not even interested to make them simple to be repaired. They only can be replaced, and this is just not sustainable. So what I like about this generation of cars, which I consider as art on wheels, is that people with a basic toolbox will always find ways to fix them. As an example, I have right now still a Rolls-Royce Phantom 5, which I found at this time. And if there is something not working, I can get the parts, and there is somebody in the Netherlands who actually has the parts or who is rebuilding those parts. And then I always find local technicians who they actually consider that as a kind of a positive experience to then put all the things together. For them, it's like a puzzle. Yeah. Right. But there is no laptop and there's no thing which goes totally havoc. And they're all pieces which will stay around for another few hundred years. So this is where the custodianship comes in. I could just enjoy looking at them and rather go and walk. Yeah, if I drive them at times, that's okay. But otherwise, the fact of just knowing they exist, I consider them as an asset which is worthwhile to be kept for the future generations to enjoy. So as an example, I have a G-Class, and I bought this G-Classes only until 2000. This is the old dashboard. Yeah, there's no real display. And I got them from Japan with very low mileage and in pretty impeccable condition. And so these are the cars which can still be fixed with kind of a basic screwdriver and maybe a nail file. Yeah, so, and that is what I enjoy. And these are cars which will be around for our great grandchildren, and somebody will always continue that custodianship. So this is what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in what I call plastic cars full of laptops, which are a headache, or which normally people after 10 years strip all the laptops out and sell them to somewhere in Mongolia. Yeah, so that's not interesting. This is, I think, the way how the car industry works right now in many, many ways is just producing things which have what I call a high crap mountain index factor.
This has been Jeff Stearns, Connected Through Cars.